If you have an idea and you want to know how to turn it into real leads, this is the video for you. I learned this methodology when I was working with marketing at a real company, and I used it to build my own company that I exited a few months ago, and I'm using it today to build my new business. And while the landscape has changed, the principles are exactly the same. I'll start with explaining how I got to learn this. So around 15 years ago, when inbound was quite new actually, I used to work for this company that sold print management solutions to global IT departments. While doing marketing there, I realized something that really flipped my brain. It's super easy to get leads. You just need to create content about problems your audience has. And I know that inbound has changed and like a lot is different now, but actually this is the way to do it still today. So my entire system was literally listen to sales calls and what customers say, pick up on key problems and needs they have from those calls, and just basically create content about those things. That's it. And suddenly, after a few months, we started getting leads from enterprise clients, huge global companies. And that's when I realized if you just do the reps, the internet will magically bring the leads to you. I used the exact same principle later when I started the company I just exited. When I was starting that company, I just knew that if I create enough content, people will find me. So I made a rule, 1 page per day for 60 days, completely non-negotiable. I just read a book by Arnold Schwarzenegger, and by the way, I really recommend this book. But the main thing I remember from this book is he said, reps, reps, reps. That's it. Just do your reps and the results will follow. I decided to do that. I didn't care if my girlfriend was outside grilling. I didn't care if my friends were going to the beach. I didn't care if it's like 1 a.m. I can't sleep. Just publish something. I don't care. After a few weeks of doing this, I started to see traffic come. I started to kind of get a feel for which pages were hot. I doubled down on those. And then when I started getting leads, I started to field test what kind of service I wanted to build for them. That summer basically caused me to have an exit 10 years later. That's why I'm here today, because I did my reps. The channels have changed, but the principle is the same, wherever you think your audience might be. If you have a budget, you can even start with ads. I've used Meta and it's great, except for their incredibly incompetent support, which makes me feel like I'm in some kind of Kafka novel and not knowing if I'm being gaslighted or if this is real life. But get past that, and actually, from my experience, it's the lowest cost lead acquisition channel, even for B2B. So yeah, basically, you just need to figure out which problem to talk about and where your audience might be, and then just start producing content. And then when you get leads, just tell people that I actually don't have a product yet, but I'd love to understand what kind of problems you have, what you're hoping that this product will do for you, what's the outcome you're hoping for after using this. Dive deep. Ask why, ask how they're solving those problems today, or what's the alternatives they're using today, and why those alternative approaches aren't working as satisfactorily as they might want. This loop of producing content and getting leads and just talking to them will give you early adopters ultimately, and it will give you direction, even if you don't really know what kind of solutions you're going to build yet. It takes a lot of time to do this, and there is a risk that you might produce a bunch of content about a specific problem only to find out that this problem isn't as painful or as common as you thought. So don't skip the validation phase. If there's any risk that the content you're producing will go to waste, do the validation. Make it your daily rep to reach out to 5 people per day on LinkedIn, book interviews with them, and don't worry if you don't have a script or you don't know what to ask. Just do this every day. You will figure out your interview script before the call. Just do it. Do this daily until you've found this target group and the problems, and then you can produce content after that. Right now, I'm building this channel and another business at the side, and I'm following this methodology with this channel. And actually, in my case, I'm skipping validation and going straight to the content because the audience And the problem is so broad in this case that the content will not be wasted regardless. So what I'm going to do is create content until I figure out what the audience actually wants. Then I'm just going to invite other founders to talk about their journeys. And then I'm going to build a site where all the lessons from these founders and their stories are shared in some digestible form for you. So yeah, with that in mind, what should you do now? Have you actually validated the problem? Talking to friends doesn't count. It's just the first filter to see if your idea is completely stupid. You need to talk to real users. If you haven't, start contacting 5 people on LinkedIn. Check my first video on how to do that. If you know the problem is real and big enough for your audience, start marketing. Build the website, the content, or even ads. Your first mission is to get real leads. After you get a lead, you can figure out what to do with it. And by the way, I've only talked about inbound here, but you can definitely do the same thing with outbound as well. So if you're doing any of this and you want to share your journey, reach out and I might interview you and share your journey on this channel. To follow me and other founders as we build our businesses in real time, subscribe now, and I'll see you in the next video.